One day, I was driving from Port Harcourt to Ibadan with a friend of mine in the car. I'm sure if he sees this video, he'll be laughing. It was a long journey, but everything was moving normally until we got to Bayelsa State. Just ahead of us was a police checkpoint. Nothing unusual, really. So you have to slow down, expect normal routine, license registration, and all of that. Yeah, maybe a few questions about where you're coming from and where you're going, okay? So this policeman stopped me and he asked me to come out of the car. I did. But the way he was looking at me, I knew I was in trouble. And the next thing he said after that was, which work you dey work? We go make you buy this kind motor. I don't do this work for 15 years and never get bicycle. Which work you dey work? Now, for my international audience, it was simply questioning why I would have to drive the type of car I had because it thought I was too young to drive that type of car. And the car was nothing. It was rubbish by today's standard. But think about that statement. He was not investigating crime. He was comparing his life with mine. And in his mind, something did not add up. How could this boy be driving this type of vehicle when I have served as a police officer for 15 years and I cannot even afford a bicycle? From that moment, I was no longer simply a citizen passing through a checkpoint. I became suspicious. Maybe I came from a wealthy family. Maybe I was involved in something illegal. Maybe there had to be something dishonest behind whatever progress he believed he was seeing around me. And because of that assumption, it gave me a very difficult time. But years later, when I think about that encounter, I don't only think about the policeman, I think about the system that produced that man. Because imagine serving your country for 15 years, 15, standing under the sun, in the rain, confronting criminals, you walk dangerous roads, you carry weapons, you are expected to protect citizens, yet you are constantly struggling to meet your basic needs. For someone like that, every successful citizen will look suspicious to him. Every expensive car will become offensive to him. Any comfortable person, he will resent them, and that is dangerous. And this is why police welfare is not charity. Paying police officers well is not a favor. It is national security investment. A police officer that is adequately compensated is less vulnerable to desperation. Imagine for a second every police officer that you know can pay his rent, feed his family, educate his children, put them in good school, receive proper health care, and retire well. He will not be stupid. He won't do any of that. And I know that higher salary alone will not eliminate corruption. We will still need discipline, accountability, training, prosecution of misconduct, and strong institutions. I know that. But we cannot demand this level of professionalism from them when we did not take care of them. The same principle also applies to teachers, doctors, nurses, soldiers, civil servants generally. When essential workers are neglected, society will pay the price through corruption, through poor services, brain drain, even bitterness, insecurity. People wonder why we don't experience perfect customer service. How can you? How can you expect it? A very frustrated, angry, offended man comes to work. His salary is already over the day he took this salary. And you think he will be friendly to you, nice to you, kind to you? Wow. So as election approaches, think beyond the personalities. Ask yourself the question, who has a serious plan for institutions? Who is going to take police reform seriously? Who is going to buy them patrol vehicles, better one? Who is going to give them more uniforms to wear so that they can look presentable? Who is going to talk about their salaries, housing and insurance, their pension, equipment, mental health, and career development? Which among these contestants understand that security reform is not simply just giving them guns, but also creating conditions in which those carrying the guns can have dignity? You see that policeman that stopped me in Bayelsa, he taught me a very tough lesson. When a public servant mistreats you, you are seeing him as a failure, but you are also seeing the symptoms of a much deeper institutional failure. So ask yourself this question as you prepare for this coming election. Are we going to elect people who will just occupy government, or people that will build system, where a police officer can serve for dignity and still have life. Because when the people protecting our society themselves are not doing well, we are not safe as people. We are not, and that is the truth. Let me tell you another story. Dr. Lakunle Shorian shared a story about him and someone that they were driving. As his custom, he said anytime he gets to a police checkpoint, he doesn't allow the driver to talk. He does the talking. So he rolled down his glass at the back and said, "Officer, good afternoon, sir. How are you?" The policeman said, wait till you talk now. Wait till you come in now. Wait till you talk. I said, "Officer, good afternoon." He said, "Oh God, they go. But of course, for Olakunle Shorian, he said, "No, I can't go like that. I must know why. Whatever I said that made you to just discharge me without even checking me, without any request, I need to know." So he came down from the car and he was asking the officer, "Oga, why did you ask us to go?" "Oga, they go now. They go, I beg." No, they said, no, I just want to know. So he opened his trunk and he brought out a bags of water so that they all can drink and just quench their thirst. The policeman now looked at him and said, "Oga, 10 years I don't do this job. Nobody don't call me sir. Sir, nobody don't call me sir." He was so respect deprived that as soon as at the mention of sir, whether he was a criminal, whether he had guns in his car, whether he was a kidnapper or he had underage girls in his car, all of that did not matter to him anymore. Just because someone showed a level of respect to a public officer. You see why we have to elect the right person in this coming election. I thought I should let you know. And I have so much story to tell you about this. Anyway, I'm saying we have to elect people who will build institutions that can improve the quality of life of our public officers. Now, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you around.